I don't make videos on black people because I hate them. I make it because I'm tired of them pulling the victim card anytime anything goes wrong for them. If white people suck so much and this country's so bad and so racist, just go back to yours for them. If white people suck so much and this country's so bad and so racist, just go back to yours.
I'm never leaving this bitch. And I can continue to talk about anything I fucking want, and that includes the inability of mediocre white men like yourself to get over your goddamn selves.
You know, when you tell us go back, please remember where you came from. And when you want to relegate somebody to a specific place, just remember what your origin is in this world. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I want you to understand that you, wherever you are on the earth, you are not a native anywhere. You came there and took it from the native people who are there. So please don't talk about going back, because if others talk to you about that, where would you go?
Let's go back to Africa. One of the top racist things that a person can say to a black person is, like, y'all forget that every black person isn't from Africa. It's like y'all think black means Africa. What about Haiti? What about Jamaica? What about Dominican Republic? What about all these other places that black people live and black people come from?
Damn, this sister said, I just got in a bad argument yesterday with one of my Mexican friends. She asked, why wasn't we being deported back to Africa? Because black Americans are the only demographic of people in the United States who are non-deportable. We're the only ones that are not migrants. Let that sink in. And I'm not directing that towards you, sister. You already know what's going on. But a lot of those folks are confused. I mean, if we're really Africans and we really come from Africa, then why have they never tried to deport us to Africa? Let's talk about it. She didn't have to cut me off. We were nothing. Your love should treat me like
YouTube, welcome back, gang, to another episode of Tay Wizzle Reactions as we make our way to 250 subscribers. Want to thank you all for tapping into the channel. I really appreciate y'all love and support. And if you want to catch me live, go to tiktok.com/TayWizzle276 at 8 a.m. or kick.com/TayWizzle at 5 p.m. Twitch.tv/TayWizzleTV at 5 p.m. every day except for Saturdays. And if you got any clips or any content you want to send me, want me to show on the channel or shout you out, throw that in the community, or you can put it in the Discord or any one of my DMs or the socials. Today, we are reacting to a video by the name of Jewish Man Raged and Tried to Come for Black Americans and Instantly Got Shut Down. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't watched the video, but from the title of it, and this video by Convo Space, by the way, shout out to them, but some of these videos don't be about what they titled, though. So if I had to guess or like make like a hypothesis of what's going on in this video, I would assume the only way for like a Jewish man to come for like a black person would to be like tell him probably like we not the real Jews, and probably try to plead his case and then get shut down. Like, that's the most logical way I could think of. But who knows what it's actually about. Might have other people saying a bunch of other shit. But it definitely say he got shut down. So whatever he tried to do or tried to say, it didn't work. So all I'm going to say until we finish the video was just to all the racists out there, and even the people that just don't fuck with black people, bro. Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. It's just that simple. Shout out to all my other racists out there that be tapping into the content without feeling no type of way and come on here to actually apply truth and actually try to resolve the race problem. If you racist though, and you always just adding to the problem and being negative, fuck you. But let's hop straight into it. I ain't finna run my mouth for too long. I'm gonna say that until the end of the video. But if you like the content and you mess with the channel, don't be too shy to hit that like and subscribe button. Get notified when I drop a video or when I'm updating y'all on the old one. Now let's rock out.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you want to say it again? The fuck makes you think I'm leaving? Matter of fact, I'm guessing Gio is your name. Where are you from? No, not the state. Not the state. No.
Not
Country
the
of
state.
origin.
Not the state.
You don't look native. In fact, you're not. So, when the fuck are you going home? Oh, and you want to talk about victimhood? January 6th, 2021. Never in the history of never have black people ever done anything like that. Never. We've never stormed the Capitol because an election was lost. We ain't never done no shit like that. But guys that look just like you did. So when you leaving? When you getting the fuck out? When you going? You, your daddy, your mama, your grandmama, your great-grandmama, dig them hoes up and send their ass back to where the fuck they came from. I'm pretty sure it probably would be Italy. You look Italian.
Dang.
Take your ass on. Go. Get the fuck out. Oh, now you don't like it when we do it. Fine, then sit your fuck down and shut the fuck up. You in black folks' business because you have none. You're mediocre, below average, plain. You are a plain bagel with nothing on it. And you have the audacity and the nerve to be over in our motherfucking business? Bitch, we can talk about anybody in this motherfucker because guess what? You can't send us the fuck back because you can't find a receipt. I will never leave this motherfucker if I don't want to.
Straight up.
And there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it, little boy.
Fuck is
You
black though.
should grow up. You should get some business. You should find something, some passion in your fucking life and get the fuck out of ours. As long as black folks live here, we can criticize the United States and the motherfucking citizens and white people in general and in particular all the fuck we want. And there's nothing you can do about it except whine in your car. Yeah. I'll leave when you leave. When you pack your fucking family up and get the fuck out, I'll leave. If you ain't gonna go, bitch, neither am I. Oh, you don't like it? Fuck you. Who cares? Like, don't like, I don't give a fuck. As long as my black ass has breath in my body, I will criticize white people all the fuck I want until you motherfuckers start learning that your mediocrity isn't special. Leave. You leave. You get the fuck out. If black people are so bad, why don't you go back to where you came from? Try that. Try that. Mediocre motherfucker. The fuck is it with you below average, low IQ, low sperm count ass motherfuckers talking to people that are better than you? Go sit your goofy ass in the back of the bus, buddy.
Europeans never taught anyone anything. They came with blood-stained flags and empty scrolls, colonized every inch of the world, not to teach, but to extract, not to educate, but to erase. The first classrooms they built were prisons. The first lessons they taught were obedience. The first subjects were silence, submission, and self-erasure. They didn't teach agriculture. They destroyed it. Didn't teach medicine. They banned it. Didn't teach math. They outlawed indigenous numeracy systems that could track time across galaxies. Didn't teach astronomy. They hunted those who mapped stars without telescopes. They didn't teach writing. They burned codices, confiscated manuscripts, and replaced millennia of scholarship with European graffiti. Every library they ever built sat atop a pyre of someone else's knowledge. They came with chalk only after coming with chains, and even then the chalk was used to redraw borders, erase names, and overwrite ancestors. You call that teaching? They didn't bring education. They brought miseducation. Europe didn't spread knowledge. It spread standardization, indoctrination, and linguicide. Europeans never taught anyone anything. They only rebranded what they stole, only standardized what they feared, only certified what they could monetize, and they only uplifted the voices that agreed to stay silent. Gope.
It's always funny seeing white men use the same insults that their great-great-great-granddaddies used to use, thinking that it still affects us the same way. Telling us to go back to Africa, comparing black people to animals, you know, shit like that. Quick story time. My grandfather was once one of those racist white men until his only biological daughter fell in love with a black man and created a black baby. And now, that same racist white man, his bloodline will end with black children, with a black legacy.
Bruh.
The world truly does have a way of humbling people. So before y'all get on my post and making all these extra comments and stuff, make sure that your children are gonna keep that pure bloodline.
Black people are the only people on the planet who have their internal conflict, their regular internal conflict, used as rationale for their oppression. The entire world wants you to know that the only way that they will acknowledge the oppression of African people, the only way they will acknowledge what they did to African people, is if you are morally perfect. Anybody who brings up that argument with you does not have any interest in acknowledging your oppression to begin with. We never bring up Latinx on Latinx crime. We never bring up Asian on Asian crime. We only bring up black on black crime because they truly believe you deserve what happened to you. They truly believe that you deserve the most brutal, unforgiving, and unescapable oppression of humankind history. Because African people used to sell each other too. Truly believe that any minute imperfection of the behaviors of African people since the beginning of time, any single blemish that you could find on our record, can justify what we have faced as a people. Everybody will acknowledge that the Holocaust was a terrible thing. Everybody will acknowledge that the Holocaust should not have happened. Everybody will acknowledge that Jews deserve an apology, that Jews deserve support, that Jews deserve remittances. You will never see anybody talking about the Holocaust and saying, well, Jews did this to Jews before. But all because Crips don't like Bloods. Noops don't like Alphas. Black women not unified with black men. We deserve the worst treatment in humankind history. Peace out.
Listen to me. Racism is destroying America. And I'm not talking metaphorically. We are literally hunting down the people who make our economy run. The hardest working people doing the hardest, most menial jobs, and we are chasing them through our streets with masked Gestapo agents. We keep allowing politicians like Trump to tell us that our neighbors, our own neighbors who live and work right next to us, that they are so radical and so dangerous. But you know what? The only thing that's radical and dangerous in this country is our inability to love one another, to love people and to show decency to people who don't look like us. It's like we would rather not have a country than to share it, because that is the choice that we are making right now.
Black people are absolutely oppressed in America today.
Oh, now you want to switch your stance. Oh, well, that's good to hear.
I've seen them be discriminated against. I've seen them being called the hard R. I've seen people associate them with stereotypes that aren't always true for all black people.
Well, good. I'm glad you realize that.
But you know the one thing I've never seen?
Of course. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Is a white guy freak out because he was called a racial slur.
Yeah, you ever wonder why that is? Because most white people throughout the entire history of this country, up to this very day, have not lived the black experience. And you better be damn glad that you didn't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be enjoying life as much as you're enjoying it right now. On the other hand, I believe that if you did experience that you actually would have a lot more compassion for black people. Yeah, most white people don't freak out over being called a racial slur because most white people have not lived oppressed in this country's history and still don't. You don't have to live with the knowledge of your grandmother or your great-grandmother or somebody within your family's history, within your lineage, was a slave, was actually owned by somebody else. You don't have to live with the fear that police are always out to get you. Your people are not 7.5 times more likely to be falsely convicted of unaliving somebody. Your people are not 8 times more likely to be falsely convicted of SAing somebody. Those are real statistics, by the way. You know who they're true for? Black people. Yeah. Your people do not have hundreds of stories throughout our country's history of when their communities were starting to blossom, a mob of a different race would go into their communities, destroy their communities, and unalive your people at masses throughout the entire country's history. But you know who does have that history? Black people. See, because the truth of the matter is that when your ancestors fought for freedom in this country, they fought for freedom for themselves, not with anybody else in mind. Because when they did fight for freedom and actually received it, nobody tried to take that away from them. So let's sum it all up here, shall we? Slavery for literally hundreds of years. Then once they were actually finally freed from slavery, the Jim Crow era, which they had to fight to even be considered a full human being. So because they weren't considered a full human being, they were not allowed to have all the rights that your ancestors had at that time. So this goes on for the next couple of 100 years, but they're still allowed to work and get paid money and try to build wealth. But throughout that time, as they're trying to build their wealth, while some of them actually become successful and start to create blossoming communities, blossoming black communities, what happens? White mobs would come, completely destroy their neighborhoods, and unalive them at masses. Literally hundreds of stories. Do your research. On top of all that, that leads us to the Civil Rights era. So what happens during the Civil Rights era? Couple of good things. The Equal Voters Act passes. The Civil Rights Act passes. But what also happens during the Civil Rights era? They try to stain the name of Martin Luther King Jr. amongst other civil rights leaders. They also create harsher punishments for crimes that usually black people would end up getting arrested for. Which, by the way, is how you ended up getting a lot of black people that were charged for drug crimes that are still doing time to this very day. Meanwhile, your uncle Jethro Bob got out 5-6 years on good behavior because he was a child PDFer. That makes sense to you? Because it still doesn't make sense to me. So with all of that happening within our country's racial history, throughout the entire time until this very day, they're being called racial slurs. And you don't expect them to freak out when you call them those words? Of course white people don't freak out when being called a racial slur. They don't have the same history of being oppressed that black people have in our country, unfortunately. So yeah, there's a reason for that. And if you don't understand why, God help your soul. Oh, Gio, why don't you just get smarter?
Anytime you argue with a racist person, the first thing they say is go back to Africa, go back to your country. And you know what? That's low-key a great idea. I feel like all black people should just go back to Africa. We could turn that bitch to the new Wakanda. You feel me? Like imagine if you just had all black people living in Africa. We'd have to cut out all the gang culture though. I know it's already gang culture in Africa, but we'd have to cut all that shit out. Like imagine all the black minds working together in Africa, in our own country. So yeah, racist people, y'all were right with that shit. Let's go back to Africa. Fuck y'all. Don't blame me. It's science.
Person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening.
What's going on? You don't want it to happen.
You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others. Now, getting right along, your hand is still up. You still didn't learn anything, did you? Didn't I just say when your hand is up, you are thinking of what you're going to say instead of what's being said? Didn't I just say that?
Yes, you did.
And did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
And did you decide that you were just going to do it your way?
I was.
Wait a minute, you were on a roll there for a minute.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Yes, I did.
Now, since you choose to not listen to others, what do you suppose we're going to do where you're concerned?
Now, listen to me.
Thank you very much.
May I
Now,
finish what
now,
I'm saying?
no, because you're still thinking of what you're going to say instead of what I'm saying. Now, getting right along.
I heard what you were saying.
You're
I
doing it
understand
again.
What you were
You're
saying.
doing it again.
I don't care.
You're doing it
because
again.
It's wrong.
You're
And you
doing it again.
Persecuted her for standing out.
You're doing it again.
Persecuted him for standing out. The only change that ever happens is when people stand out, and I have to stand back too.
Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. Are you in any physical danger here?
I thought she kept on continuing.
Are you in any physical danger here? Is that girl in any physical danger here? Emmett Till was hanged by his neck after he was beaten almost to death, simply because he made a statement to a white woman.
I got a question for white folks that are going around and telling black people, Middle Eastern people, Asian people, they need to go back to their country. What is wrong with you? Do you realize that you ain't from here either? Do you realize that? That you're not originally from the United States of America? Even called America 300 years ago. We're about to celebrate our 250th anniversary of the country actually being officially declared our country. When my people came here, we weren't even considered full citizens, and to some people, we're still not. But why are people trying to tell folks to go back to your country, go back to Africa, go back to India, go back to... What is that about? You don't belong here either. I mean, maybe not. Let me correct that. It's not that you don't belong here. You weren't originally from here anyway. None of us were. Maybe the Native Americans. Now, I've heard some recent information that maybe black people were kind of everywhere. But none of us came here, are original here. There were Native Americans in this country. Folks came and colonized it and kind of took over the country by hook or crook. But why are you telling people, which I kind of find it hilarious every time I hear it or see it or whatever the case may be, why are you telling people to go back to their country? You aren't original here. Nobody's original here. It's funny you never hear that from somebody that's Native American.
Facts, man.
Go back to your country. They don't tell anybody to go back to the country. Not that I hear. They mean go back to your country. Y'all wasn't from here anyway. You came mostly from Europe. Go back to your country? What's that about? So in the comments, tell me, what do you think? What is that about? Why have they forgotten? Have they forgotten they aren't original to our country? That this is a place that they migrated to and colonized and took over? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Talk to you later.
I was in line at Trader Joe's, and this YT woman thought that she could just rude me like it wasn't a line there. And when I checked on it, she was like, go back to Africa. Oh, and I was mad. I was tight. Who are you talking to? Who are you telling to go back to Africa? And then it dawned on me. This raisin and a potato salad having ass chick is right. I should go back. What am I doing here? What? You see what we dealing with? We voting between two presidents that are on life support. Gas is sky high. Inflation is only going up. Like what? I should go to the motherland. I'll probably have cows waiting on me, land, 10 wives. I'll be riding on the back of elephants, playing with baby lions. What am I waiting for?
I don't know, gang. I do not know, but shit, if you want to go back to Africa, power to you. I know one thing. I did not come from Africa. I was born right here in America. So I'm not going back a damn place. Now, once I get acquire a bit more wealth. I might have a house there for economic reasons and spiritual, but I won't be like permanently just living there. Or maybe I will, because I've never been. Now, if I do go and it's just like, oh, unbelievable, then of course. But definitely going because some racist fuck sparked that idea. Ain't happening. Then the lady in the classroom, I saw that segment years ago. That's crazy. I saw that clip years ago. I can't remember how long, but I saw it years ago, where it basically was explaining how white people knew and understood what was going on to us in this country, what was happening to us in this country as far as the police brutality, the systematic racism, and so much more. But the fact that they did not intervene, they don't intervene because they don't want it to happen to them. And I can believe that. And I'm not going to bash people for not, for being scared that that's going to happen to them if they try to help. But I'ma say, they say evil only wins when good people do nothing. And it's crazy how the lady, she predicted what the student was going to do, which was interrupt her, disregard her points and her facts and everything that she said. One, because she didn't like it and she had something to say, and two, because she felt some type of way, because maybe it applied to her or people like her or people that she know. But if I could wager, I'm thinking it applied to her. And then just right after she was proven that she was wrong, she literally tried to play the victim by crying and storming out and all of this unnecessary bullshit. That's why I snickered a little bit. I was about to laugh when she said Dr. Martin Luther King was unalive. I thought she was about to continue her lesson. I didn't know she was about to basically say another point or, prove another point, but I thought she was continuing her lesson despite her crying or her fake crying. And they always say like, oh, well, white people don't end racism because they don't let us truly be free, because when we get up, we might do to them what they did to us. And I used to always say like, nah, I don't see that happening. But now I'm not even going to lie to you. Now that he put it that way, I agree with it. And the reason why I agree with it, because maybe if they were oppressed, maybe they would understand how we feel. And you could definitely tell oppression is real because my generation and probably couple generations, probably at least 5 generations back, didn't experience slavery firsthand, but we still see the effects of it or feel the shockwaves from it. And we're definitely living in the modern day slavery because of the laws. Systematic racism is still in place, it's still in play, and they still trying to enforce it to the fullest extent. So with that being said about that video, I'm not going back to Africa because I didn't come from Africa. I was born in Baltimore, but I will be going to visit one day. Shout out to Africa and everybody that's watching from Africa. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. First of all, if somebody was to tell you to go back to Africa, what would you do? Let me know, how would you react to that? Like, would you get into a high level debate? Would you get physical? Keep it real. Or would you be like, you know what? You're right. I am going to take my ass back to Africa. Let me know how y'all think. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. And white people or any other race out there, have you told a black person or any other race to take their ass back to where they came from before? Let me know down in the comment section. And as always, if you made it this far in the video and you like the content, don't be too shy to hit that like and subscribe button. Get notified when I drop a new video or when I'm updating y'all on the old one. As we make our way to 250 subscribers, gotta thank you all for tuning in, tapping into the channel, showing me y'all love and support is greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to catch me live, please tune in to TikTok 8 a.m. every day except for Saturdays at tiktok.com/TayWizzle276 and kick.com at 5 p.m. every day except for Saturdays as well. Kick.com/TayWizzle. And I will be making my return back to twitch.tv/TWizzleTV, 5 p.m., same as Kick, every day except for Saturdays. And if you got any content that you want to send me, you want me to show on the channel, or even shout you out, go ahead and put that in the community right here in X. You can tap into the Discord, or you can hit the DMs at any one of my social media platforms. This has been another episode of T-Wizzle Reaction. I definitely appreciate you all for tapping into the channel once again. I cannot express that enough, because you guys could be anywhere else, but you be right here. And I can't do nothing but respect and love that. So it's definitely appreciated. But I'm going to get up out of here, and I'm going to see you guys on the next video, alright? Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.
She didn't have to cut me off.